You have now just purchased the best direct-to-film printer on the market, the Prestige R2 Pro. Watch me today as I assemble it here on the Devoted brand. Stay tuned. Here at Devoted brand, we're not going to do the most common everyday voiceover for this. You guys can kind of see already how easy it is to assemble this printer. You're going to want to put your waste ink tank below the printer because, duh, gravity. You want the waste ink to leave the printer and be collected. Now, what's a direct-to-film printer without the film? Now you want to assemble the real system. Make sure that you tighten the bolts so this way the roll doesn't go rolling away. But be careful to not over tighten them. Now, can you see what we're doing? We're putting on the sides to hold the roll in place. Look at that. We have film for the direct-to-film printer. That was a pretty cool effect, huh? Now, remove the stickers, because you're going to want to get inside this printer. Ah, look at that in there. This thing is going to change your world. Oh, it happened again. Watch out for that thing. Now, unscrew this brace here. It's put there for when they ship the printer, nothing happens to it. Nothing bad, at least. I've noticed that if you close the lid and unscrew the two top screws on the lid, it'll make it easier to access the screws inside the printer. See? A lot more space now. Get that top one out of there and remove that brace. There it goes. But keep it. In case you want to move this printer again, that brace will keep the print head still and it won't go traveling as you go traveling. Now, reinstall the screws, obviously. And get ready for the fun part. Sorry for these parts here. It still is an assembly video, so it might be a little boring, but I can assure you all these steps are necessary for proper printing. Now, of course, plug it in. Turn it on. Look at that. We are almost there. The carriage is moving. Let's turn it off real quick just to make sure that nothing happens when we put in the lifeblood. Here I'm adjusting the wiper to make sure that it actually does its job when wiping away the excess ink from the print heads. There are 2 print heads in this printer, and it is super fast. Believe me, this thing is crazy. It can put out over 30 feet of film per hour. It's a big upgrade from the A3 Plus R. You're going to want to remove these components from the housing so you can make sure that the ink is properly loaded. And once again, more boring footage. But please believe, all necessary. Please stick with me. We're almost there. Watch out! Remember to shake your ink. You don't want to have ink that is not shaken. No stirring, just shaking. Here's the hard part. It's all color coordinated. Just match up the ink to the appropriate color cap. But remember, once you shook your white ink, let it sit for a couple of minutes so this way you get proper dispersion inside the printer. Now we turn it back on and we regulate the white ink flow. We're almost ready to prime this bad boy up. Here we go. Go into your menu and go to the fill ink option. Both heads, and watch that all come through. Once it's done, just hit your cancel and then go ahead and do a couple of the head cleans. There's a button right there on the control panel that is dedicated just for head cleans. Now, around back, let's feed the film into the direct-to-film printer. This part, once again, pretty easy. Feed it under the bar, lift the rollers, secure the film. Now line it up and put the guards on the side of the film. Oh, I made a mess. I'll clean it up soon though, don't worry. Our white ink is going through properly, so we can put it back to regular. Close it up. Okay, now go download the software and prepare the printer for printing greatness. After everything is good and everything is printing correctly, just put the covers back on. Once again, this is going to be a boring part, but you want to be careful. You have 6 dampers in there with all the lines feeding the ink to the print heads. So take your time, use patience, make sure everything lines up correctly. I'll get my head out of the way, sorry. Make sure you tighten both sides. And now place the second cover on there. See that? No screws on top. Makes it easy to lift that lid. Secure that cover in place, and we're almost done. We are almost done. All we have to do now is close the lid and reinstall those top 2 screws that I mentioned before. Carefully close the lid and look at that. 2 screws up top. Secure these into place. It'll make it easier when you have to access inside the printer. And just like that, we're done.